As we move through a societal spiritual awakening, there is more and more talks about empaths. What does it mean to be an empath? Stay tuned to find out the truth. My name is Tiffany Toombs. I'm a high-performance mindset coach that has worked with thousands of people across the world to help them heal their trauma, let go of their emotional baggage, and access the gifts that are unique to them. In this video, I'm going to share with you the most common misconceptions about being an empath. Then I will share with you what an empath truly is. And finally, I'm going to share with you some things that all empaths need to know in order to live a happy and fulfilling life. So there are two major misconceptions that come with the topic of empaths. There's a lot of people who believe they are an empath when really they're a highly sensitive person who has unhealed trauma. If you've not done your own inner work to heal your inner children, to release your emotional baggage, and to rewire your limiting beliefs, then chances are you might feel how other people are feeling because they're reflecting back to you what's going on inside. There's a popular saying in the NLP and self-help world that says our external world is just a reflection of our internal world. So if you're attracting a lot of people who are broken or who have unhealed trauma and you haven't done your own work, it might not necessarily be that you're an empath. It might actually be that you're attracting into your life the things that represent and reflect you, and this is a push from the universe to actually do the inner work on yourself. The second most common misconception about empaths is that they are doomed to take on everybody else's emotions, especially negative emotions. Again, this could not be further from the truth. If you have unhealed trauma, you have what we call emotional hooks. That means when you're having a conversation with somebody or somebody around you is experiencing a negative emotion, you're going to pick up on their emotion, but it's going to stay in your body because it gets caught on this hook. The more of your own inner work that you do, the more that you heal your emotional hooks and let go of your emotional baggage, the less likely you are to take on somebody else's negative emotions. Now, it doesn't mean that you won't have empathy for them. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to sense and feel what they're going through. What it means is that you're not going to take that emotion into your body and be stuck with it. A lot of empaths and people who think they're empaths end up getting sick because they think that in order to be a good empath or a good healer, they have to take on somebody else's emotions in order to save that person. The truth is, we can't take on anybody else's emotions. We can't rescue somebody else from their unhealed trauma. We can simply provide them the tools to help themselves. Now that we've cleared up those misconceptions, before I share with you what an empath actually is, I want to hear from you. Have you previously bought into one of these misconceptions about what it is to be an empath? Go to the comments below and let me know. An empath is somebody who is a highly sensitive person, which means they tend to pick up on the unspoken emotions, frequencies, and vibrations in the people around them. As I mentioned before, if somebody hasn't done their own healing work, then the negative emotions of other people might become trapped in their body because they're stuck on these emotional hooks. This causes the empath to very easily go into sensory overload where they don't like being in big crowds because they're picking up so many other people's vibrations and frequencies that it can become overwhelming. The more that an empath does their own internal work and their own personal healing, the easier it will be for them to set boundaries and to not take on other people's emotions so they are able to stand being in large crowds for longer periods of time. A true empath is also highly intuitive, so oftentimes they can find themselves knowing what somebody else is going through before that person even shares or puts words to their experiences. Empaths also find that they tend to be filled up with energy or that they're able to do the best healing work when they're alone or when they're out in nature. Now, there's a couple things that empaths need to know to have a happy and fulfilling life. Before I share those with you, I want to remind you to subscribe to my channel. I am sharing brand new videos every single week to help you truly master your gifts by healing your trauma and letting go of those limiting beliefs and emotional baggage that have kept you stuck. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button and like this video while you're at it. There are 3 major things that empaths need to do to have a healthy, happy, and fulfilling life. I've mentioned one of them already a couple times, and I'm going to mention it one more time just to drive the point home. Empaths need to do their own healing work. In fact, they need to be continuously working on healing at deeper and deeper levels to make sure that they're not getting stuck with somebody else's emotions. What we know is that carrying around negative emotions, whether it's ours or somebody else's, is incredibly toxic to the body, and it can lead to long-term injury or even illness like liver disease, heart disease, kidney stones, cancer, fibromyalgia, and other autoimmune diseases. So we want to make sure that empaths are continuously letting go of their own emotional baggage. It's also important as part of the empath self-care to cut cords from the people that they have come into contact with on a regular basis. When empaths have a lot of people who are energetically attached to them, they might find themselves being more fatigued, more drained, and more mentally foggy than what is normal. So having a regular self-care practice that allows them to cut cords, that allows them to recharge their energy by being in nature is essential for an empath's health and happiness. The final thing that empaths need to be able to do is set boundaries. Now, because the empath has so much empathy for other people, because they are able to feel what somebody else is going through, they tend to struggle with setting strong boundaries because they don't want to hurt somebody else. However, one major lesson that empaths have to learn is that they cannot rescue or save other people. And the best thing that they can do for other people is set boundaries so other people know how to show up for them. This will allow the empath to have more health and happiness and energy in the long term so that they can make a greater impact for other people, and it allows other people to know what behavior is and is not okay. So boundaries are essential for an empath to have long-term success, happiness, and fulfillment. If you're a highly sensitive person, an empath, or just a regular human being who is ready to master your mind and let go of that emotional baggage that has kept you stuck, I would love to invite you to join me in my 6-day Mind Mastery Challenge. In this 6-day challenge, I'm going to share with you 6 incredibly powerful exercises that are going to help you overcome challenges like imposter syndrome, emotional baggage, fear, overwhelm, and so much more. You can join this free challenge anytime you want by going to nlpworksheet.com or clicking on the link in the description below. Thanks so much for watching.